Golden State Media Concepts Baseball Podcast. We cover everything Major League, from spring training to the World Series. We've got your favorite club covered, from New York to Boston to LA. This is the Golden State Media Concepts Baseball Podcast.
Thank you for tuning into the Golden State Media Concepts of Baseball Podcast, where we discuss the latest news and Major League Baseball. As always, I'm Jeremiah.
I'm Ben, and we are here on August 31st, Jeremiah. We are almost in September.
Yeah.
This year's gone by so fast.
It has. For baseball and just in general. It has gone so fast. So we're like literally a month away from playoffs.
Yeah, we're right in the thick of things. Every single game now is more important than ever for all these teams vying for a playoff spot.
Yes, and it's also an important time for a certain former NFL quarterback.
A certain MLB hopeful, I guess we can say.
We can call him that now. Of course, I'm talking about Tim Tebow. Yes, I called him Mr. Baseball on the football show because...
Mr. Baseball.
Oh, well, the reason why I did that is because for some reason Christian Ponder came up in our first segment. I don't know why. Oh, because we were talking about Teddy Bridgewater, his injury. And then Alex was like, my football co-host, he was so interested to see what Christian Ponder's career high passing yards was in the game. And it was against the Denver Broncos in Week 13 in 2011 against and Tim Tebow was a quarterback. And I referred to him as, of course, Mr. Baseball, Tim Tebow. And then that's when we made the nickname for Tim Tebow as Tim Tebow.
Tim Tebow.
Yeah.
Very, very clever there. I got to give you guys some brownie points. That was pretty clever, pretty good.
Tim Tebow. He's not Mr. Baseball. Tim Tebow.
Anyway, speaking of Tim Tebow, so he had his Major League tryout, workout, I don't know what you want to call it, but he had that yesterday in L.A.
It was both, yes.
Yeah, so he had it yesterday in L.A. It was in front of 28 Major League teams. Only two teams that were not represented were the Chicago Cubs. I think they're doing quite well for themselves.
Yeah.
Don't need to really worry about Tim Tebow that much.
Theo Epstein did not want to waste his time.
And then the other team, it kind of surprised me, is the Oakland Athletics.
Yeah, that actually did surprise me with the way that Billy Beane is, how he runs his team. I was surprised by that.
Especially because it was in SoCal, so still in California, so not too far away.
I'm pretty sure he could have made the trip. He'd probably just be like, whatever.
I would have thought they would have at least sent somebody out. But anyway, so the Cubs and the A's, the only two teams not represented, so we had 28 teams. Tebow, as far as the workout goes, I was surprised at how well he looked, his physicality. He was really chiseled. Came in about 255 pounds. He looked jacked.
He looked in good shape. Yes.
Yeah, he looked like he was about to rip out of his jersey there. He looked quite well. So I was surprised about that. But as far as the workout went, he ran really well. He ran about a 6.7 in the 60-yard dash, which is not bad. He showed good speed. As far as his fielding, he didn't really, according to scouts, of course, he didn't really have that great of a strong arm. He wasn't really accurate as well out in the outfield, sort of a guy that's going to have to always hit the cutoff man. I found that really surprising coming from a football history.
He had really good arm strength, but I think the accuracy was a little off. But yeah, I find that like a little bit of an arc.
I find that surprising because coming from the NFL, obviously he didn't have really much of a successful NFL career, but being a quarterback, you have to be able to get the ball to your receivers accurately, show good strength to get it to them quickly.
Which was something he did not do.
Yeah, so it's not something he couldn't do. I thought that's maybe something he could do in baseball. It's a lot easier to sort of throw a little more accurate. So I was surprised that he wasn't able to do that, but he just wasn't able to. As far as hitting goes, he had a lot of power. Obviously, he's a really, really physically strong guy, so had a lot of power, but he sort of struggled as far as hitting the off-speed pitches. He was getting pitches from former MLB reliever David Aardsma. He was a closer at one point. So as far as hitting curveballs, breaking balls, change-ups, he kind of struggled. He did get a hold of one ball he hit a home run on, so he does have somewhat of a chance here. What did you make of the whole tryout process yesterday?
When I was the way that it was kind of organized, to be honest with you, he had I think a 2-hour workout with a bunch of different drills to do. I think that's the perfect word I'm saying. But yeah, man, I was reading a report from ESPN, and according to one anonymous scout, Tebow showed a below average arm. The grade was 40, which was on the 20 to 80 scale, and
right.
50 is usually the pretty much average. So pretty much 40 was the grade, and it was literally below average arm. So I don't know. That's actually kind of important for me because you got to have the arm. He has the arm strength, but overall, his arm in general, it's below average. And I think that it might have been nerves a little bit. There was I think his the guy that he was doing batting practice with. He said he was
Aardsma.
Aardsma.
David Aardsma.
I don't know why I couldn't get his name. You just said it. But yeah, he said that this was probably the worst he's ever looked.
Of course, there's going to be nerves. You're obviously trying out. This is something you've invested the whole year in, kind of your future as it stands right now. So, of course, there's going to be some nerves, you know what I mean? So, it's a lot easier for Aardsma to say that as opposed to
because
really...
he's been working with him.
Right, but it's a lot easier to say that because we haven't seen anything other than yesterday, so you really just have to go off of what you saw and what you see as a potential. You can't really go off of... people's sort of thoughts and what they've seen over the year with no one else seeing it. So it's hard to kind of say that.
Yeah, and to come back and play baseball in 11 years, it is very hard to play now professionally. And I honestly think this Tebow saga in baseball, I honestly think it shows that professional baseball is a really hard sport to. No, baseball in general is just a hard sport to play.
Right, absolutely.
And not everyone can do it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've said this a lot of times in the show. If you hit 300, that's a pretty good average. That means you're only getting a hit 3 out of 10 times. So you're failing and doing really, really well. You know what I mean? That's kind of crazy.
Getting a hit in a game in general is pretty good.
Right, and usually you get 1 out of 3 at bats or maybe 4, so still, 250, 300 on a day, that's not too bad. But as far as Tebow goes, definitely he has some ability to run.
Yes.
Maybe some ability to hit if he can sort of adjust to the game speed, get adjusted to off-speed pitches. Fielding, kind of shaky, we still have to see about that. But what do you see as a possible future?
I honestly think that there's going to be one team. There has to be one team that's probably going to look at Tebow and be like, you know what? Why not? Why do we just not sign him? What do we got to lose? Because we got to see what he has in the minor leagues.
Okay.
I feel like teams don't really have anything to lose with Tebow because if he doesn't shake out to be a really good player, you can just cut him, honestly.
Right, and I really do feel like we're going to get at least someone to take the risk. He's going to bring in revenue. He's going to sell tickets wherever you send him. I'd say at best right now you're looking at maybe AA. So you're going to get someone to pick him up, bring in tickets, sell revenue, look at maybe a really small city with a AA team. You're going to get everyone going out to the ballpark to see Tim Tebow, whether he's a great baseball player or not. It's going to get publicity. So I really do think someone is going to take the risk.
Yeah, I really do think so, too. Because it's why not? What do you got to lose? And Tebow, he's honestly, I don't see him going as high as AA right away. He's probably going to play in rookie league ball next month and maybe perhaps winter ball. But honestly, I think if it goes to single A, that'd be really good.
It's a start.
It's a start, yeah.
Tebow even admitted yesterday, he's still sort of in the work process. He realizes he still has a long way to go. He has to start really wherever he goes and then build his way up. So even Tim Tebow knows that this is definitely not a finished product, and it's still a work in progress. So, but Jeremiah, there is already one organization that has signed Tim Tebow.
Oh, yes, there is. Yes, you're talking about. Yeah, he endorsement, right?
He is now a member of Adidas.
Yes, indeed. I think it was a 3-year deal.
I'm not sure, but I just know he's with
money,
Adidas now.
But the terms of the contract weren't revealed. But yeah, man, he's not even been on the baseball diamond in a game. He's already signed by Adidas.
Well, yeah, I mean, Tim Tebow definitely really popular with the media. Sort of a media darling.
Yep,
so
he is the media
so
darling.
No real surprise there that he's already got an endorsement deal. And Adidas is really doing a lot to try and step it up. You know, they've got Kanye West, James Harden, Aaron Rodgers. So
and they got, keep it baseball related, they got Chris Bryant and Carlos Correa.
There you go. So Tim Tebow has his workout yesterday. If any news breaks on Tim Tebow maybe getting a deal from a team, we will always keep you updated here at the Golden State Media Concepts Baseball Podcast. But we're going to take our first break. Coming out of that commercial break, we'll be talking about the Los Angeles Dodgers and Clayton Kershaw eyeing a return sometime in September. So we'll be right back here at the Golden State Media Concepts Baseball Podcast.
Tired of searching the vast jungle of podcasts? Now listen close and hear this out. There's a podcast network that covers just about everything that you've been searching. The Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network is here. Nothing less than a podcast bliss with endless hours of podcast coverage. From news, sports, music, fashion, cooking, entertainment, fantasy, football, and so much more. So stop lurking around and go straight out to the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. Guaranteed to fill that podcast itch. Whatever it may be. Visit us at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and download us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Play.
And we are back here at the Golden State Media Concepts Baseball Podcast. Moving into the next segment, going to be talking about the Los Angeles Dodgers and star-studded pitcher Clayton Kershaw. As of yesterday, he completed a simulated outing at Dodger Stadium. 2 innings. He faced hitters in 45 days. It was the first time he had faced hitters in 45 days. So he completed 2 innings. So he had been out since June 26 because of that back injury. His last start against the Pirates on Sunday Night Baseball didn't do too well. He is eyeing a return at some point this month, which is obviously good news for the Dodgers, currently atop the NL West, and getting their ace back would be obviously great news for them. So Kershaw would say it was a great step in his progression. That's what the team manager of the Dodgers said, Andrew Friedman. He was with the club in Colorado. He said he felt great after, which was obviously everything he cared about, as we knew he would do. He said he was not as sharp as he wanted to be, but he's always going to say that. The most important thing is that he felt great, and we will assess tomorrow what the next steps are. So Kershaw back. There was a simulated 2-inning game. Obviously, he's going to have some rehab starts. You have to think maybe 1 or 2 within the month. So I'd say probably a return near the end of the month. But what do you say about
August?
Kershaw?
Of August?
No, of September.
Oh, okay.
Because you'd think he'll have to do at least 1 rehab start, maybe even 2. So I'd say at the earliest, the middle of September, but I'd say more along the later end there. I think a lot of it has to do with sort of the NL West race. If they have a good hold on it, I'd say they're maybe even holding him out until maybe even the start of the postseason. But we'll have to wait and see, obviously, how that goes with a month left. So, what did you make of the sort of Kershaw coming back, what he can add to this team? The Dodgers doing so well without him really surprised all of us, I think. So,
yeah, this was probably the most important simulated game for the LA Dodgers of the season. I've never talked about a player playing the simulated game in a while, but Clayton Kershaw, he makes the Los Angeles Dodgers an elite contender. You know, they're contenders now, but we don't know how they will play without Kershaw in the playoffs. Now, with Kershaw coming back possibly at the end of September and the playoffs, they are elite contender now with him back.
So you're saying elite contender as to maybe even represent the NL in the World Series to challenge the Cubs and the Nationals?
Could. Yes, they could, definitely, because you see how the production that the Dodgers are getting from guys like Justin Turner, Jock Peterson, even Corey Seager, even though he just got hurt the other day, playing, probably going to win Rookie of the Year. You see how this offense is playing. Yeah, I can literally see them honestly challenging the Chicago Cubs for the NL, pretty much the NL pennant.
Okay, so let's say Kershaw comes back, and I think it would be hard to say if he'll be the Kershaw of earlier in the season, especially when he just comes back. I think you may have to give him a couple of starts, some time.
Ease him back, yeah.
Right, so I'd say I would still sort of struggle if I could say they'd still beat the Cubs, because I
didn't say they're going to beat the Cubs.
You said challenge, but
they could.
Right, I'd say that'd still be tough. So as it stands right now, obviously the Cubs, the best team of baseball, they would face the winner of the wild card game, which could be the Dodgers,
could be the Giants,
could be the Cardinals, Marlins. We'll have to obviously see as the season sort of rolls down here. So then the Dodgers will be looking at maybe if they won the division crown as a first-round matchup against the Nationals. When I look at that possibility of a matchup, if Kershaw's back and healthy, I could see them maybe challenging to beat the Nationals. I think the Nationals obviously are a better team. They have a better starting rotation, which is really important in the postseason. But, I mean, past that, I don't really see them making too much noise. But as of anything, I've been most surprised that the Dodgers have been able to play even better without Kershaw in their starting rotation than they had been with him. When Kershaw was there, it was pretty much an automatic win. You might as well pencil it in. And then from there on out, without Kershaw pitching, it was kind of, well, maybe they'll go 500 in the games he doesn't play. But since he's been gone, they really haven't struggled at all. They've been playing even better. They've got a lot of help from the Giants, obviously not doing too well since the All-Star break. But they're still playing well. You know what I mean? They're 6-4 in their last 10 games. They're really playing well, especially at home. They have a home record of 42-26.
Yeah, and Clayton Kershaw was on his way to getting a Cy Young Award. Remember, he was 11-2 with the ERA of 1.79. And what is amazing that the Dodgers they're doing what they're doing without him.
Right, yeah. That's what I'm saying. So if you throw him in there, just think of the possibilities.
Exactly. That's why I said they can possibly challenge for the NL pennant. I'm not saying that they're going to win that series against the Cubs if they happen to go that far, because the Cubs are just the best team in baseball. Bullpen's a lot better. I don't see them happening, but I do see them going possibly as far as the NLCS.
I could see that too. I could really see them beating the Nationals. I would still give the Nationals an edge right now, but I don't think the Dodgers are far away. You know what I mean?
No, yeah.
So I see that happening too. I mean, you mentioned people like Turner, Jock Peterson, Corey Seager all playing well. Adrian Gonzalez has been hitting the ball a lot great recently. He's really been a consistent hitter his whole career, but he's really playing well. And the Dodgers they're kind of feeding off a little bit of momentum without Clayton Kershaw, sort of realizing, okay, we don't have our leader, we don't have the leader of our staff, our best player, probably the best pitcher in baseball. We need to sort of find production other ways, really step up to the plate, no pun intended. And they obviously are doing that. So I feel like if you throw Kershaw in there, I mean, it's really just a win-win for the Dodgers. I think the one scare they could have with Kershaw is sort of what set him back to make this back injury even longer, is that they might rush him too quickly. So that's why what I would do is, if you still have a good firm lead on the division, which right now is 2 games, which I wouldn't say is a good firm lead. So if you can maybe stretch that to 4, maybe 5 with a couple of weeks left of the season, I would really think about taking it a lot easier with Kershaw, maybe even waiting until that postseason or getting him one start before the postseason before you really throw him in there. Because what happened was he had a back injury, and then he took an injection, felt a lot better, kind of rushed it back, and then hurt his back even more, which is forcing him to miss even more time now. So I think they need to be really cautious, because I feel like without Kershaw, although they are playing well, they don't have a chance.
Okay, and the thing that also concerns me about Kershaw returning is the trade of AJ Ellis, who was always behind the plate when Kershaw started, and they traded him to Philadelphia. And then it got a lot of, not a lot, but it did get some negative reaction amongst fans in LA and baseball fans in general. Because, the chemistry that Ellis had with Kershaw was pretty insane. And not only that, Ellis was also a really good leader in the clubhouse. And then he's no longer there. So I honestly think with Kershaw not having A.J. Ellis when he comes back, I think that might be a concern. But it is Kershaw, so I'm pretty sure he can adjust to it.
Right, but you do make a good point, because that chemistry you have with catchers,
it's important. Yeah,
it's very important,
especially in a pivotal race for the National League West.
Right, there's oftentimes catchers who will specifically catch for certain pitchers when they go out there. Obviously not in the case with Kershaw, but a lot of times with like knuckleballers, they have special catchers. So you do have that added chemistry with certain players. So you do make a good point. There is that kind of question mark as to how things will go. Obviously, you mentioned Kershaw. You don't think he'll have a hard time adjusting. Really the best pitcher in baseball in my eyes. So I can see that too. But still, there is that added question mark there. It does happen, So that is a possibility with them trading Ellis away to the Phillies. So, I mean, you'll have to wait and see. Hopefully, Kershaw can make a speedy recovery, come back. Obviously, you want to see the best players play. So hopefully he will do good for the Dodgers and put this back injury behind him and help LA in the postseason. I think they're pretty much a lock to get there. It's just a matter of if they can hold on to the division crown or not. So.
Yeah, and remember, me and you, Ben, thought that the Dodgers weren't even going to be in the playoffs. We thought the Giants were going to completely run away with the National League West division title. But they're playing really, really good, and they even had a pivotal series last week against the Giants, which they took 2 out of 3.
And then they also took 2 out of 3 against the Cubs.
They almost got no hit in the third game, but still, that was a very important series for them. And
now the Giants have a really important sort of series coming up with the Cubs. So
yes, they do.
A big series there for, I'd say more so the Giants than the Cubs. I think the Cubs firmly know where they are and they're in a really good position.
Yeah, we don't know about the Giants.
Exactly.
We don't know. It's just they're being too inconsistent right now. But honestly, though, I actually see the Dodgers as a locked in the playoffs as of now, especially with Kershaw coming back. You just come on, kidding me? But yeah, I do see the Dodgers getting far as NLCS with Kershaw. And remember, even though Kershaw has struggled in the playoffs in years, he's going to be fresh from not pitching an actual game since late June. So I honestly think they're going to...
A little less wear and tear on the arm.
Yeah, so I think they're going to honestly wait till possibly the playoffs. But it all depends, though, on how far of a league they have over the Giants. And it's all on pretty much how bad the Giants are playing or how good the Dodgers are playing. That's all it comes down to.
Or both.
Or both, yes.
Yeah, anyway, so we're going to take our last break here of the show. Coming out of the break, we're going to be staying with the topic of the LA Dodgers, but we're going to be switching it over to the outfield, talking about recently demoted to AAA, Yasiel Puig, and some news that he is making, not necessarily about him, but a team that's possibly looking to pick him up. So we'll be right back here at the Golden State Media Concepts Baseball Podcast.
Do you want to be healthier, yet you just don't know what to do? All these shows telling you this and that, but nothing seems to work. Well, listen close. Golden State Media Concepts has got something great for you. The Health and Wellness Podcast dedicated to workout trends, healthy eating habits, diet, and everything about healthy living. Join us in our banters as we help you not just live life to the fullest, but live it to the healthiest.
Welcome back to the Golden State Media Concepts Baseball Podcast. And sticking with the topic of the Los Angeles Dodgers, yes, this is a whole show about, well, not whole show, but pretty much 2/3 of the show is Dodger related.
Well, they're making moves, they're making headlines. We got to cover them.
We didn't mean for that to happen. It's just, you can just blame the Dodgers for having so many news out. But sticking with the Los Angeles Dodgers here, there's rumors that Yasiel Puig could be traded within 48 hours. A mystery team,
unknown,
an unknown, have claimed Yasiel Puig off waivers. So we don't know.
Prediction.
We don't know if the Dodgers. We don't know if Yasiel Puig is going to even be with the Dodgers in 2 days. We don't know that. So
prediction on the team.
Let's see. Prediction. This is very hard because this is pretty much talking all 30 teams. Okay, I can probably rule out the Cubs.
Okay.
I don't. Because why would they need him?
Kind of like not going to Tim Tebow's workouts, ruling out the Cubs.
Oh, you know what though? You bring up a good point at that. Maybe they didn't go to Tim Tebow's workout because of Puig. No, I don't know. But I don't know.
Spoiler alert.
But
no,
I don't know. That would be actually kind of intriguing. But,
I'm going to throw out a wild card here.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm going to say Miami.
Oh,
Two reasons.
Honestly, yeah, I can see that. But what are your 2 reasons?
2 reasons. One, I realized they just traded for Jeff Francoeur last week.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not really Jeff Francoeur that he was on the Braves a handful of years ago. They need an outfielder with Giancarlo Stanton being out. And Miami is really close to Cuba.
Yep.
So I'm gonna throw out a monkey wrench here, a wild card. I'm gonna say Miami, but who knows? It's unknown, so we really don't know.
I cannot rule that out because Miami is still in a wild card race here. They're still in it, and Puig, he's only 25. And remember when Puig came into the league, he had just a meteoric rise. Like he was a star in LA. He was one of the biggest stars there. And you think about a city. The same city as Mike Trout, Kobe Bryant, all those guys. He was amongst the star power there in Hollywood. But Miami, I can honestly see that because Miami is looked as this. It's looked at as like the tropical place. Like you got the beach there. You got that nightlife there, and honestly, I think Yasiel Puig kind of likes that lifestyle in a way for being in LA.
Maybe.
So maybe I can definitely see that, but it's hard to speculate on the team that's interested in Puig. It's definitely not the
we're never gonna know.
It's not the San Francisco Giants because why would the Dodgers want to make a deal with the NL West rival that they're competing against?
Well, the Dodgers don't really have a say because any team can claim him, but what they do have an option to do is they have the option to work out a trade with them. So this is the waiver trade deadline, the non-waiver trade deadline, I'm sorry. So they can sort of work out a trade with him, or they can maybe wait until the offseason and negotiate with every single team in baseball.
I think they're going to honestly do that.
Exactly, I do too, because they can work out a trade with any team as opposed to right now just the one team that did claim him. But Puig sort of talking about his experience going to the Oklahoma City Dodgers, a AAA team. He's gone on to say that the moment I arrived in LA, people were crazy for me, 50 to 60,000 people cheering at the stadium. I got used to that amount of fans. Getting to AAA and not seeing as many fans is not very appealing or fun to play baseball, but this is what I have to do for my future. He's kind of seems like he's a lot more humbling, realized that the reason he's gotten demoted is all because of him, and he really needs to sort of make a change in his attitude and like his sort of demeanor in a whole. So possibly Puig out as a Dodger. I think regardless of this team that claimed him, if they work out a trade or not, or they wait till the offseason, I think this is really the last we've seen of Puig in a Dodger uniform.
Oh, I completely agree.
Totally. I don't see any way he's still there.
I would be surprised if Yasiel Puig is in the Dodgers organization before spring training. I would literally be surprised because I don't think he just looked, honestly, Yasiel Puig just looked very unhappy. He looked unhappy. He didn't look like he enjoyed playing the game of baseball like he did in 2013 when he first came into the league, with his breakout season, because he was an exciting player to watch that year. He was an all-star the year after also.
Yeah, so, I mean, I think as far as Puig, there's definitely still potential. He's only 25 years old. He obviously has sort of fallen from grace. He did really good with the Dodgers when he first broke into the league and that first couple of years, but then he's really taken a decline since then. So I still think there's a lot of potential for Puig and a chance for him to maybe resurrect his career somewhere else, but it's not going to be in LA, or at least not for the Dodgers in LA. Maybe it's the Angels or something, who knows. But Yeah, I don't know. Maybe there's still a chance for Yasiel Puig to do some damage somewhere else. But we'll have to wait and see.
Yasiel Puig he has too much talent to not play for a Major League Baseball team. He just has to get his act together, which it seems like he is doing in Oklahoma in AAA. And like I said, I would be really surprised if Yasiel Puig is in the Dodgers organization. But, when you're looking at a team that's a real good fit, honestly, there are 29 other teams I would love to have Yasiel Puig. Honestly,
you think so? Do you think there's teams that have sort of crossed him off their board as far as bringing him in because of his past history? I feel like there's got to be at least some.
Okay, maybe the Giants. Honestly, I can definitely see that because, first of all, I don't see the Dodgers working out a deal with San Francisco, and they like bringing guys up from, within the organization. But yeah, I can't really rule out any team at this point. I don't know because he's still 25. He still has potential.
Right.
Despite his antics and all that, showing up late to the ballpark, he seems to not be doing that anymore because in AAA there's an interview that I saw with forgot the reporter's name. It was a good interview too. But he's showing up on time, he does what he's asked to do in AAA, and he's doing what he can to go back to the major leagues. He blames himself for not being at the big league level. It seems like he looked in the mirror and be like, he has to be a better person on and off the field. And it looks like he's doing that. And there's a quote that I actually saw in one of the articles. It's a quote, "It is the same rules whether you're in Cuba or in U.S." And it went on, "If you don't train, if you don't respect your coaches, whether you are an amateur or professional, you will have the same problems." So it seems like if he had the same problems in AAA that he did in Major League Baseball, he knew that maybe no team is going to give him a chance. But he's improving upon his troubles in the past. And I really do think that teams are going to look at that. And he's hitting .375 since he got demoted. And I think it's honestly helping his diminished trade value that he originally had 2 months ago. So, I don't know. I can't rule a team out. When you're looking at a young player, especially at 25, that's look like he's improving in the minors, I can't rule any team out. I can honestly see 29 other teams taking a chance on him. So.
I agree. I mean, I would definitely not shy away from Puig. He's still young. He still has a lot of potential. It seems like he really finally realizes this is his last chance if he wants to really have a successful baseball career. So hopefully he can stay on the right path and, build on what he was when he first came up with the Dodgers and not more so recently. So, but anyways, Yasiel Puig, he has been waived by an unknown team. The Dodgers have an option to work out a trade with that team within the next couple of days before that non-waiver trade deadline happens, or they can really wait until the offseason to work out a trade with any team. But Jeremiah and I both agree that we have seen the last of Puig with the Dodgers, and they're sort of just going to move on from here. So
so I think the Dodgers are going to wait till the season's over to make a trade with 29 other teams. But this mystery team that has a claim on Puig, they would really have to blow away the Dodgers to make the trade pretty much the next 2 days.
Or do you think the Dodgers just kind of, throw in the white towel and sort of move on and just give in to what?
Do you think they're just going to give up on him like that? Like they're not.
I don't know. I don't know. I think he's done in L.A.
No, he is done. I'm just saying they will have to be really blown away to make the trade 2 days from now for Puig to be gone. I don't know if he's going to be like, we're just going to give up on him. No, they're going to add. He has some value. Puig has value, so they're going to ask for a fair trade with that mystery team.
I think maybe I would sort of strike while the iron's hot. You mentioned he's hitting .375 in the minors. That's obviously really good.
Really good, yeah.
So you might want to strike while the iron's hot. Maybe he's just going through a good stretch of games, and maybe he starts slumping, and then you don't get as much for him as you may have right now. So I don't know. Maybe you do, and maybe you just decide okay, we want to move on from Puig, let's just do it now as opposed to in January.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, we'll have to wait and see. But
I think they're going to wait.
I think they will too, but I would definitely, obviously, weigh every option.
Yeah, I'm not going to rule out that he's not going to be traded by next week. I'm not completely ruling that out, but I do think the Dodgers want to see what other teams have to offer. Because like I said, I think they're going to have to be completely get an offer that they can't refuse for Puig. Like, if it's too good, why not? You know, he's not going to be on your team next year anyway.
Yeah, that's definitely a possibility. And we will always keep you updated on all things Yasiel Puig, Dodgers, and really baseball here at the Golden State Media Concepts Baseball Podcast. But unfortunately, this is going to conclude our show here. But we are going to be back recording yet another one. Jeremiah, what do we have in our lineup for our next show?
Oh, I like that. Okay, but yeah, we got another action-packed show for you guys coming up. We're going to talk about Kansas City. Yeah, they have been... They're still in the wild card race.
Continuing their positive play as we talked about last week.
Yeah, we wrote them off so long ago, and we even wrote them off with that 9-game winning streak. But, yeah, they have not gone anywhere. And we're going to be talking about the hottest player in the game, Gary Sanchez. Yes, he's just on a tear, and we're going to be discussing the young Yankee slugger there. And we're going to be talking some news in the National League regarding Pittsburgh Pirates and Garrett Cole going on the disabled list. Yes, so do not remember, we're going to be right back for you guys. We're always going to talk baseball here at the Golden State Media Concepts Baseball Podcast. But we like to thank you guys for tuning in.
That's right. Absolutely. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. If you are listening, make sure you listen to our other shows. You can find them on GSMCpodcast.com or really any of the other baseball podcasts. We have them all there for your listening pleasure. You can also find us on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, Google Play. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram. It's at GSMC_baseball. Our podcast network is also on Facebook, GSMC Podcast Network, and YouTube as well. So you can find all of the podcasts on there if you want to sort of look at the thumbnail picture and just listen to them. Kind of weird why you want to stare at that. Maybe if you enjoy YouTube, want to have it in the background while you're doing homework or, cleaning the house, whatever you're doing. So that's always an option.
Working out, I listen to podcasts when I work out. So,
there you go.
Yeah.
I like to listen to them in the car. Definitely my favorite time. So, but anyways, however you're listening, wherever you're listening, and whenever you're listening, we'd like to thank you for listening.
And it's free 99.
Free 99. So thanks, guys. We will be back with another episode. We're going to be recording, uploaded tomorrow. And we'd like to thank you for listening and have a good day. Goodbye.